Hi friends, in our time together today, I'm comparing 4 low D whistles for you side by side. The Tony Dixon TB012, the Howard with the balanced head, the Nightingale by Karavaev, and the Lear low D. Now, how did I come up with those 4? Well, I recently had a video where I introduced all the low D whistles that I have, or I had at that time because I've had another one arrive. And what I want to do is I want to say to you, please ask me which ones you want compared head to head, because that's one of the best ways that you're going to be able to say, oh, I like that whistle more than that whistle. You see, just when I introduce a whistle, for example, I just received the iVolga Wood Low D whistle, and I'll introduce it probably over the weekend. Now, you'll hear it and you'll like it, and you'll go, I don't know if I want that one or not, because you need to hear them played head to head. And that's why I'm doing this. And so in that video where I showed you all the whistles, I said, please ask me to do head-to-head comparisons. And so I got some great requests, and I'm going to run through them interspersed between other lesson videos that we're doing. So a good friend of the community, he always makes fun comments, good comments, helpful comments, teaching me stuff. Michael N. Michael, thank you so much. Michael wanted to hear these 4 together because of the similar tone qualities they provide. Because really, we're ranging from inexpensive to expensive, and introductory whistles to at least intermediate grade whistles, and more, to be honest. So it's kind of fun. So that's the comparison. What I want to do is I'm gonna play a scale on each. I'm gonna do the first octave first, then on each, then the second. Then I'm gonna play a tune. And then we'll talk about pricing. And I'm going to stick links in the notes to this video as to where you could pick up each of these videos. And when I can, I'll stick more than one link, because shop around. You can find deals out there any given day of the week. So first, the first octave on the Tony Dixon TB003D. All right, it's right around the F. I can start increasing the breath pressure. All right, you've heard the Dixon. Now the Howard. I'm able to vary my volume. On the Howard more, it accepts more pressure there. The Nightingale by Karavaev, first octave. I can change my breath pressure and increase the volume some. Now, for the same thing on the Lear. Okay, yeah, I can increase the volume difference on the Lear as well. On those, the reason I use those lowest 3 notes is because those are the ones that are often the most difficult to increase your volume on. Let me now play the second octave on each. The Tony Dixon first. Tony Dixon's more like an easy blower. That means you don't have to really change your breath pressure a lot, moving at the top of the second octave. The Howard. The Howard requires a little more breath pressure as you move into the second octave. A lot of folks like easy blowers, a lot of folks like medium blowers, and there are some folks that like hard blowers. The Howard is medium to easy or easy to medium. You need to have some in that second octave. What that often means is expressiveness, the availability of expressiveness in play. Now, second octave on the Nightingale. Alrighty. These are all great tone. And Michael, you're right. Oh, in some ways very similar. So, the second octave on the lyre. Nightingale and the lyre also easy blowers. The Nightingale may be the loudest in volume, kind of a toss-up between the Howard and the Tony Dixon after that, and the lyre is leaning a little quieter, but there's not a huge range difference in them. What I want to do now, and I'm playing these in ascending order of price. I'm going to play just through If I Were a Blackbird, if I was a Blackbird, once on the Tony Dixon. I find if I push the Dixon too hard, the tone will break on me. So I have to learn to be a little careful on that one. Same thing on the Howard. The Howard. Alrighty, I'll now play through If I Was a Blackbird on the Nightingale. The Nightingale requires just a smidge more air than the others. Remember, breath pressure is one thing, and a little more, and the volume of air is another. So the Howard probably requires a little more pressure, and the Nightingale a little more air. These are all important distinctions when you're deciding on a whistle. Now, I'll now play through If I Was a Blackbird on the lyre. And the Lear is just a tad more quiet than the others, and also a lovely tone. I like the tone of all of them. Now let's talk about some. Let's talk about fit and finish before I tell you pricing. The Tony Dixon ABS whistle, very well made, traditional hole spacing. You'll need like a modified piper's grip or a full piper's grip, whichever is more comfortable for you. This is the a non-tunable version. It's made well. It's very light. Actually, this is a, it'd be better if you could break it down, but this would be a great whistle to play outside because it will be impervious to the weather. The Howard, beautifully made, smooth finish. The coating on the outside is just so well done. The head's nicely made. They even have tuning marks on here so that you could say, well, I just want to tune it like one little notch. And they've got those there for you, both to lower the tone and to raise the tone. Howard provides different head options, which I think is absolutely amazing. This is tunable. Brilliant whistle. You could play this one outside without it being difficult. You're not going to have any issues with condensation on the Dixon or the Howard because of the molded head. And that is also true for the Nightingale. The Nightingale, very nice, beautifully finished aluminum body. Again, all of these Piper grip, traditional hole spacing on the holes. The Nightingale is tunable here with the molded head connected to the aluminum body. Now, the only time you'd be bothered, so you're not going to get any condensation here issues. The only time you're going to be bothered with the weather is if it's freezing cold outside and the metal of your Howard or Nightingale gets cold. Excuse me. Now, the Lear is a full metal body, aluminum, and that is a metal head. You will have to like maybe treat the head with toothpaste or something, or there's some other surfactant to keep condensation from really building up in there. That's just what happens with all metal heads. I love the way the Lear plays, and I'm dissatisfied with some of the fit and finish issues. It's a powder coat, and I can see, for paying this much money, I just want it to be beautiful. I can see some inconsistencies in the density of the powder coat. And when I rub my finger inside, it's actually rough. Okay, I'm picky, but that bothers me. This is my whistle swab, and I slide it up and down, clean condensation out of my whistle, keep my whistles clean. Very important. The very first time I put this whistle swab that is not inexpensive in the Lear, the roughness of the Lear ripped fibers off of my whistle swab. I was not a happy camper. So I contacted Lear and said, the inside of the tube and the slide itself are a little rough. The inside of the tube rougher than the slide. And I asked them, is that normal? Is my whistle defective? Should I get a replacement? And they're like, well, sometimes they come from the factory that way. And I know Lear makes a lot of, or at least some of their instruments in-house. And I thought they maybe would have made this one in-house, but apparently that means that they have a third party making at least part of this whistle. And I wanted this to have a finer finish. That's my only knock against the Lear. I love the tone. I'm trying to figure out how to clean it because the inside's really rough. And that would affect the tone very, very minimally, but minimally enough. So let's talk pricing. And remember, I'm putting links in the notes to where you could get these. Oh, I do have a question on the Lear. I know some of you probably own the Lear Low D. Would you check and see if the interior wall of the tube of your Lear is smooth or not? The Tony Dixon TB003D is at today's pricing and exchange rate. Oh, I should timestamp this. This is May the 1st, 2025, because you might be watching this later. The pricings may have changed. The exchange rates might have changed. Always pay attention to shipping too. So for today, this is $85. The tunable version, the TB012D, is $119. The Howard is the next in price. The Howard, you could get varying prices on the Howard because you could get a different look to the body. They make some absolutely beautiful bodies on the Howard, different finishes. And I went with the black because it was the cheapest. And I got the balanced head. You can buy more heads, so that adds to it as well. And you can get a resin which slightly dampens the tone and makes and relieves some of those breath pressure requirements. But the flat black or the glossy black Howard with one head is $155 at today's exchange rate. Now, the Karavaev by Nightingale, no options, it's just the Karavaev by Nightingale, is $167 at today's exchange rate. And one of the reasons I feel like I have a right to say I want the fit and finish to be just perfect for the Lear is because this is $264 at today's exchange rate, and that puts it close to the cost of an MK Pro, which is fit and finish is amazing on. So I want this to compete head to head, and that means the fit and finish should be the same. So $264 for the Lear. Pardon my griping on that. So, my friends, I hope this is really helpful for you. I have more comparisons coming. If you want other comparisons, go back to my original video, see what all I've got, and please request them on that video, on this video. Let me know if you have any of these 4 whistles or more than one of them. Let me know what you think about the tone. Michael's interested. We are a community. We help each other. That's what community does. So anyway, if this is helpful for you, please like the video. If you're brand new and just checking us out because of this comparison, please subscribe. We're really helping each other learn to play the whistle well. Until next time, this is Scott Shade. Happy whistling, my friends.